Hey, players, it's Luthais. I'm back, missed you guys, and yes, bringing you a review on Miscreated in 2018. Now guys, thinking of Miscreated, I think about my young days, when I was running around as a child and playing with my plastic guns and shooting invisible people and trying to create an adventure for myself. And this is exactly what Miscreated is for all the new players out there. Guys, if you're new to Miscreated, I promise you there's no other survival game like Miscreated. The 2 points of Miscreated that stands out immediately is first of all the Cry engine, which gives you the most beautiful graphics and environment you can ever run around in. It won't be a running simulator because of what you experience while running around. And of course the sounds. You can hear the birds chirping there in the background. And yes guys, when you start a game, you start out as a new player with nothing on you, with just a torch for you to have some light in houses and when it's dark, and with a piece of material which you can turn into a rag when you maybe get a bleeding marker from a mutant or a gunshot. It's got a very nice crafting system. And as you can see, like I'll show you now, in the beginning for new players, rags are very important to create ropes and various items like scarves and just little things you can make to make your character look a bit different in the beginning. And yes, these are the basic things that you can build in the beginning. But to basically be able to create more things, you must create guides in the world, which gives you an incentive to explore. Because guides you get in various locations, like houses and on brutes, which are very big mutants, and you can of course create a clan, so you can build together and have a lot of fun. Now guys, the first thing here is the environment. The environment is fantastic and really beautiful. The weather effects are awesome, and everything in this game that you experience pulls you into the game. And what I love about the game is the scaling of everything. As you can see, I'm in a house and everything looks up to size, and the couch looks real, everything looks real. There's a lot of games that I've played that pulls me away from the game because everything I encounter takes the realism away from the game for me. With this game, everything just pulls me into the game. The graphics, the scaling, the sounds, the environment, the ambient, the ambient sounds that you get. And you can interact with a lot of things in the world, which really opens up things for you to do wherever you are. Now, it's basically Orca Island, which you survive on. There's been a big war with bioweapons and nuclear weapons. And a big corporation called the Amalgamated Corporation has basically bought out everything and created a vaccine that turned people into mutants. And everyone that's survived is just, trying to scavenge for food and stuff like that. As you can see, I'm at the diner, which you will get as a new character between Pinecrest and Brightmoor in the south side of the map. And again, it looks like a post-apocalyptic world. And again, looking at me walking to this bus, again, the bus feels inside like a real bus, like a bus that's been standing here for years. And as you can see, my character is already looking way cooler than what he looked in the beginning. So there's always loot to find. There will always be things to do, and when you've explored the island and you know where the gun spawns are and stuff like that, then it won't be difficult to find guns. What I appreciate most about this game is the effort the developers put into the detail of the game. Now, the diner was created in the last few updates, and as you can see, there's been a lot of detail put into it. The diner looks absolutely beautiful. They've changed some of the broken down vehicles, what those vehicles look like, looking much better. So they're always working on what you experience in the game and how beautiful it looks. And of course, the sounds are a very good plus point. If I have to take anything from the sounds, then the only negative part about the game for me is that the gun sounds at the moment aren't extremely real. If you've got your volume up high, you'll still experience loudness in the guns, but what I feel they really need to do is go into a studio, get the guns that you can shoot with here, and just record or get the recording files from other people. And if the guns can sound exactly like they do in real life, it will add a lot of value to the game. And of course, you can loot most vehicles in the game, and like I said, really beautiful if you just look at that diner. Now, the other biggest thing about Miscreated is your emotions that you experience. Now, times like these are one of my most favorite times, is where I feel when I just feel peaceful and I'm just enjoying running around on the island. Like I said, some people don't like walking simulators, but when I explore this island, I can't not enjoy it. Just look at the scenery, the sounds, the weather, everything just pulls me in. And trust me guys, there will be enough times for PvP. There will be times when you think you're getting a heart attack, or your hands start shaking, or you become very nervous. But coming back to times like these, like I say, you can experience emotions from the most tranquil in times like these and the most exciting, which really lets your emotions run around. And of course, they are busy expanding the map. I'm here in the latest area that they opened up, and as you can see, the space and the vastness is fantastic. A few islands there that they can do things with. They're busy with the bunkers there in the distance. I hope they make that a nice big island, and I can only dream, but I hope they can make the amalgamated corporations factories on the last part of the map that they open up. And when it comes to PvE danger, I really hope they make an area that will be dangerous even for clans to enter, by either adding a lot of mutants to that area, or getting a mutant into the game that will be like a boss mutant that one player won't have a chance against, and even a clan of 4 will have very, very difficult times, trying to kill it with weapons. This is of course the first mutant that you get in the game. It's called the Crazy Mutant, and yes, not the most dangerous, but can make noise. And as you can see, it's not very difficult to kill. Again, the amalgamated shirt that he's got on there, guy probably got a vaccine there and got a raw deal. And yeah, they don't easily put bleeding markers on you, but they do add 10% damage with every hit. And they upgraded the AI of the mutants, which is a fresh positive thing for me, because as you can see, I'm walking behind this mutant and it's not detecting me. This is the spiker, where they turn his arm into a spike that can add bleeding markers to you. But you can hide from them, you can use stealth, and they'll only detect you if they hear you or see you, which is very realistic to me. Gone are the days where you can run into a house and be out of sight and hide, and the mutant will always know where you are. So the AI is much more realistic at the moment, and I love it. This is, of course, the Skinner mutant. Looks like this guy took the most vaccines and went horribly wrong. And this is the most dangerous standard mutant. As you can see, he's already adding 2 bleeding markers to me. And yes, definitely the more dangerous one of the 3. And on their own, they are not a very big threat, but in packs and hordes, like you will see at the end of the video, they definitely become a problem, and they do pose a major threat. As you can see, really looks freaky, and yeah, not something you want to mess around with if you don't have a really good weapon. Fortunately, I had my nice bat with the blades and the nails in. And then we get to the big boy, the Brute. One of my favorite mutants, and a really tough bugger. As you can see, it takes a lot of gunshots and hits you for about 20% damage every hit. And the reason you want to kill these guys is for the guides. As you will see now, I'm searching him, and there I get a guide. Nice war guide too, which you can study, and that will allow you to craft a lot more things for your base. And then the newest addition to the game, and something that I'm very impressed with, is the Spider Mutant. Now the Spider Mutant is visually awesome to me. Really, really cool. And yeah, don't know what experiments they did on that dude, but really, you know, it looks fantastic. Now what the Spider Mutant does is it shoots poison at you, and when the poison hits you, of course you get poisoned, but it lifts up your torpidity. In other words, dazes you a lot, and if you pass out, if he hits you enough, you will pass out, and then of course you will keep on attacking you while you're passed out, and you'll die. Now they haven't killed me yet, but they also have small little spiders that comes out of them and then chases you, and when they come close to you, the small little spiders blow up. I'm not very impressed with those spiders, because I do want to live myself into the game as much as possible, and 4 little orange spiders that you can hear coming to you and that makes a sound before they blow up don't really pose a threat to me. I would have rather had the Spider Mutant have mutated little spiders like him coming out and jumping onto you and adding bleeding markers to you, and you know, having various effects. But yeah, that's just one little thing that I think would have been better. And if the spider had close quarter attacks, like it hasn't done it to me yet, but if it had an attack where it charged you and maybe stung you with a lot of damage, that would have really posed another big threat. But as you can see, it's pushing up my torpidity. I'm poisoned, and with a gun it doesn't pose much of a threat. You just wait for it to stand still and it's done. But like I say, a lot of nice detail put into it, and the only negative thing is that I don't really like the baby spiders. Thought they could maybe make it the same as the mutated spider and really give you incentive to stay away. And of course, if the Spider Mutant could attack you or jump onto you, have a close range attack that did a lot of damage, that will also make the fear factor much higher. But overall, like I say, it's a really freaky looking mutant, and I really love the effort that the developers put in. Its animation for strafing at the beginning I wasn't very impressed with. It looked like it was just floating over the ground, but after they've updated the animations, I'm very happy. It literally looks like the Spider Mutants walking over the ground left and right. So they are improving on things all the time, which I'm very happy with. Now, another factor for PvE is the wolves and of course the bear. Now the bear, you can go look at one of my latest patch videos, and you'll be able to see the bear in that. Very, very cool. And the reason I'm showing you guys the wolves is because the wolves are the most dangerous PvE element to new players, because new players don't really like walking around in the road or like putting a lot of time into cities where they can get killed by clans. They tend to run around in forests, and when one of these packs detect you and hunt you down and you don't really have a gun with a lot of bullets in, this is basically the AI that's going to kill you most of the time as a new player. So just watch out for it, and yeah, make sure you don't get caught outside without a weapon, because they do run faster than you and they can kill you. Now, of course, the other PvE element is the storms that the guys have put in. Now, it's been in the game for a while, but it didn't have any effects, and at the moment they've added the effects. Like I say, they're working on the game constantly, and the storm really looks cool. It doesn't happen a lot, but yes, it adds radiation. So as soon as you're picking up radiation, it buggers up your vision, and really has nice effects in the sky, but not a really big threat, because as you can see, my radiation is picking up very slowly, and if I go into a house, I'll definitely be able to survive it, and if I go into a cave, or a bunker or in the sewers, then yeah, I'll be safe. So not a real threat, but a real freaky looking storm, and yes, something that I'm crazy about. And for people who don't like the storm effect in the game, I absolutely love it, because it's something that could happen in the future. You never know, and we've never seen what the Earth looks like when it's getting bombed by various nuclear and bioweapons. So yeah, I love it. If you don't love it, then the storm takes about 5 minutes, where it does its maximum damage. So you can just do what a lot of players are doing at the moment and just log off and then come back after 5 minutes and it will be done. For me personally, that wants to survive and challenge all the elements that are trying to kill me, I absolutely love it, and it's original. That's what I love about it. It's original. And if you want to talk about a fear factor, this other storm, the radiation storm, is the one that you guys must fear. So if you're going to be very angry when dying because you've got a looted character and you were caught outside, then yes, guys, if you hear the sirens going off, then get into cover. As you can see, the radiation isn't doing a lot of damage, but as soon as it builds up speed like it does here, and you start seeing this radiation cloud coming through the air, then you must start panicking. As you can see, it's really picking up speed now. And if you're not close to a house or anything, I'm sure you're going to die. As you can see, in a house, it protects you from the radiation, but you are still picking up radiation. So you could survive. But in my opinion, it's a very nice factor. Just look at how much radiation I'm picking up now. Now this is absolutely fantastic, because it adds a big PvE fear element. I tried to be clever and got into the river, and yeah, see if I can survive the storm. As you can see, I'm not picking up any radiation and I'm quite safe, but unfortunately you are running out of oxygen, and as soon as you pop your head out, that cloud is going to hit you in your face, and you're going to have to breathe, of course, like in real life, and then breathe in that radiation. So yes, getting disorientated because my vision is very blurred, and yeah, you will see that I'm losing a bit of health because of my oxygen, but I'm going to build up the oxygen again, and then just look at my health when my oxygen is okay. There's my oxygen, okay, and watch now, 3%, 2%, 3%. it's a really fast killer, guys. So when this storm is at its max, you better not be outside. I will bring you a video where I've got a full hazmat suit on, and then we'll, with the next 4 videos that I'll do with tutorial videos, I'll give you guys various tips. And then, of course, another major element to the game is it's not safe to walk around in caves and near radiated areas, because they added a big one in the middle of the map between the cinema and the Woodhaven checkpoints. And yes, this is a nice addition because they put loot there, they put a bunker there and cars. So I think it's a very nice addition for new players, but for geared players, I'm not sure if it makes a lot of sense. I would love a bigger incentive to come here, and of course an incentive for you to need to able to explore longer. Okay, so more like a building or something that you can explore, and that makes your chance of dying much higher, because you will see now I'm running in here. I haven't taken the potassium pills that gives me 40% resistance to the radiation. Just running in here like I'm a new player. And as you'll see, I'm going to explore the bunker completely. And yeah, it wasn't great loot at the moment, but they say that you do get times where you get great loot here. So I'm exploring everything. And if I didn't get stuck here, then I would have had much more time. So yeah, it's just lost a little bit of time there where I got stuck. And yeah, you can see I'm not in a real rush. Just checking everything out. Not gonna pick up the ammo. And I probably could have explored that vehicle as well, but running out of here without taking potassium pills to give me resistance before I head in there, I'm still going to survive with about 39% health. So that's without a hazmat suit, it's without the hazmat tank or the hazmat mask. So yes, for new players, it's a nice addition. But if they added more places to explore there, I think it will make it a lot more dangerous, and of course give the big clans a big incentive to loot there. But I don't have a problem with it. That basically leaves the big clans to go explore Hayward and the big checkpoints so they can fight there, and maybe, you know, gives the new players a nice incentive to have a bit of fun with, you know, and get some weapons early on, or fight with each other about the area. As you can see, the Survivortron that you get in the game shows you the radiation levels, and that's what basically made the sounds when I was running in there. So yes, for me everything is positive. Everything that they're adding to the game is positive. I can't wait to see the new maps, or the new areas to the map. I've got no problem with this area. As you will see, I went into my favorite cave near Sultan, and the caves are absolutely beautiful, and I basically entered the way that I normally enter the cave. It's and there were guys above me with a vehicle, so I didn't know if they already came into the cave or not. But I'm trying to sneak here so they can't hear me. I don't know if they're sneaking. But just check this, guys. Most players will know this area. Look at that radiation. Look at the radiation. Before I even realize what's going on, my radiation is full and my health is down to 41. I could have lost everything there in that little corridor. Now, if you run through there, it might be better. But if one of them was in that cave, then I would have been dead, because I can't see anything. And my health is already low, so it would have only taken them one shot to kill me. And I had to start running, which of course made noise. And there was a brute inside here as well, so if he detected me, I would have sat with another problem. But yes, gone are the days where you can explore caves without worrying about radiation. Now you have to worry about every single blue zone you see. and it can literally kill you, which is a very, very nice addition to the PvE. And since a lot of guys are exploring caves for the blue mushrooms, it's nice. And now the PvP. If all the dangers of the world isn't enough, guys, there's always someone that wants to kill you. I don't know where he's shooting from, but I'm scared and I'm just running into cover. 2 bleeding markers, can't get to my rags quickly enough, and yep, pass out. And this is a bad feeling. You're just lying there. If you've got a friend with you, then he could have maybe bandaged you and helped you up, which is a nice addition to the game, is so that you can lie on the ground and a friend can bandage you and let you wake up. But if there's no help, you just basically bleed out. And yes, the PvP aspect of the game is probably one of the most exhilarating features, because I've never experienced the emotions that I go through like I do with Miscreated. In this scene, I'm just checking the first checkpoint and seeing if I see anyone, and you're gonna hear a vehicle. Now, as an experienced player, this doesn't mean much to me. I can just hear the vehicle, and now I'm just gonna go into cover, seeing the bucky drive past. But there will be times, guys, especially as a new player, if you get hunted down at night, you will experience a sense of fear that you haven't experienced in a game ever before. And me and my son experienced it the first time we played this game. We were out in the forest at night, we couldn't see anything, he was with me, running around with me, and there were guys on a quad and a bucky that was chasing us, and we got split up while the bullets were flying past our ears. And after a while, my son couldn't play anymore because of the effect that it had on him. And although I found it funny, it had that effect on me as well as a grown man. And that is irreplaceable. That's absolutely magical to me. And I want to give you an example of this. After 1,000 hours in this game, I've got 2 people at the police station. I don't know where one of them are, so I'm already nervous. They might be around that corner, or here I could have died, but I'm searching for them. And yes, I'm heading to the armory because that's a hot spot in the police station. And there I see him. He shoots off a shotgun. I'm using the bars as cover, and yep, down him. Might look very plain and simple, but guys, I am wrecked at the moment. Even as an experienced player, I am very nervous. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know where his friend is. And I'm excited about the loot that I'll be able to get on him. And yes, just look at when I loot him. And I wanted to use this clip because that really shows how intense the weather and the environment and everything makes this game. So you can see I've got 2 guns lying there on the ground. I'm gonna loot him. Just look at my mouse. Just look at the mouse, guys. I'm in a hurry. Look here, look here. And that's what happens, guys. That is something you can't experience in other games. That realistic fear that you would experience in a real survival game, with people trying to kill you and taking everything you have. Now in real life it would have definitely been way worse because you would lose your life, but Miscreated gives you that sense of protection or sense of that you want to survive. Look here, I want to take on the guy, but I'm thinking about a lot of things. So I'm thinking, hey bro, you don't have anything on your head, at least get his helmet, so that the helmet gives you a bit of protection, makes your chances of survival a bit more. At the end he ran away because he was scared, but yes, that's what I'm talking about. especially at night. Now, the example I want to give you is I'm at the main checkpoint, and here you will see the spider mutant with various other mutants. And what I want you to think about in this scenario is not the fact that the spider mutant isn't a major threat. What Miscreated does very well is of combining everything in the game. So the spider mutant has detected me. If anyone is in this area, they can hear the spider mutant. They can hear me shooting at the spider mutant. So they can interact at that moment. So although I killed the spider mutant here and I survived by the skin of my teeth, as you will see now, I took on these two mutants for too long, and like I say, in numbers they're always dangerous. Look at the damage they're doing to me there. And I just survived there. Could have been dead, just of the PvE element. But what I want you to think about is if other players were here hiding and hearing me and then engaging me. Okay? And that's what makes Miscreated so great, is when the weather and the PvP comes into connection with the PvE and makes it really dangerous for you. Of course, this is the quad that you saw in the intro, one of my favorite vehicles. Really fast and a lot of fun to drive. Yeah, it's the only vehicle that I'll go driving around with in the forests because you can't get stuck, and it's got nice suspension and everything. And then this is my other go-to vehicle when I want to play with friends. Now, it's the army vehicle. You get a police one as well. And you can sit about 4 people at the back and 2 in the front. The vehicle is very tough. It can even drive over brutes, which you won't be able to do with any other vehicle, which is a great bonus. Just make sure you're at full speed, otherwise the brute will bring you to a dead stop. But yes, that's the other part about this game that's fantastic, guys. Because you're in a real environment, experience various emotions. Making friends is just so much better, because when you interact with someone, it feels like a real friendship. You're talking to the guy, you're trying to figure out if you can trust him or not. At the same time, he's trying to figure out, can he trust you? And that is as real as it gets. When you meet another person, you don't know if you like them, you don't know if you can trust them, you don't want them to invite them to your house. There's various things that you protect yourself with. But in this game it's the same. You don't know if the guy's going to kill you. You don't know if he's going to stab you in the back. You don't know if you've told him you've got a base, if he's going to steal your stuff. It's very difficult for you to make him a clan member, because then he can take your stuff when you're offline. So if you build a friendship in this game, it feels real and fantastic. And it's basically a friend that you can have a lot of fun with. And I've made quite a few friends in Miscreated and built great relationships with them. And when you're a real person and not fake, and you're focusing on the game and making other people enjoy themselves as much as possible, then it's natural for people to be friendly to you as well, and want to play with you and maybe not want to kill you. And yes, the interaction of the game, the social aspect of the game, is really fun. Very dangerous, of course, because yes, you can get killed without getting a few sentences in. But normally when you speak to someone, even through their voice, you can read between the lines and know which kind of person they are. If they sound a bit crazy, they are probably crazy, and if they sound bored, they are bored. And if they sound excited to see you, then maybe they're open to a friendship. But if it feels like they're trying to role play with you, or that they just trying to do certain things, if it feels like they're directing you, normally it's a dangerous thing. But again, enjoy reading people and enjoy the social aspect of it. And if the social aspect of the game isn't enough fun for you, then they've done something which is groundbreaking to me. And that is that they took the football pads and they turned the football pads so that you can add craft like a Mad Max kind of effect, putting metal and barbed wire on it, which just opened up my mind immediately. This, of course, the police vehicle. Ignore the ping because I was on a server with very high ping. Just to get the vehicles, I had to go onto an empty server, so I didn't worry about the ping that much. But yeah, just enjoy the way you can drift with this car and just have a lot of fun. That's also a very big factor. But yes, guys, looking at what this game needs, the football pads you can create now or craft now with barbed wire and steel blades on it, and it gives you that Mad Max effect. And the biggest problem that I have at the moment is when I'm fully geared, I normally look the same, okay? And especially now that helmets gives you a lot of protection. In the past, I could maybe, make myself look a bit unique with police clothing and a nice cap, stuff like that. But at the moment, the helmets there's a major incentive to wear helmets because the protection it gives you. So again, I'm back to the days where I look like a Green Beret. So you've basically got brown army clothes on, or green or white army clothes. And after 1,000 hours, that feels a bit flat, and you don't feel unique in the game. Now, there's only one thing that I can craft, as you can see there. There's spiked football pads, and these pads look phenomenal when they finish crafting. Imagine me now with a welding helmet on, or a crazy helmet that I crafted, or a biker helmet that I put skulls on, or that looks like a skull, we can create different clans, different looks. Look there. Imagine I could craft a cool helmet, or cool pants, or boots with spikes on them. Not that I would want to look like that character, but there are bandit groups that would love to look like that, and there are various groups that want to be unique and fill a role on that server. So if they can make all the clothes customizable by adding barbed wire and various things to it, or paint, get white paint and you can paint a skull on your helmet, or various things. If they can use that one example that they used with the football pads to be able that you can craft or change all the clothing items and the helmets and the backpacks, you can change everything by adding craftable materials to it, then groups can become unique, and new players will be able to see if they are raiders or see if they are cops. And even though there are role-playing servers, on the official servers, clans can feel unique and give them a much better incentive to explore, to get the materials, to get the specific clothing sets that they need to craft something that looks really cool, and make exploring, way better. And yes, if they can work on that, if they can just see that in the future, all the clans looking different, having different territories and everything. And no, I know you can do that with role-playing servers, but the clothing will make role-playing servers even that much better. And just the standard servers, we can have battles and we can identify our players like we probably would in real life. I would not let my clan members in my clan, where I'm trying to survive for my life, have the same clothing on that most of the other people have on. And I'm not talking about headbands. I'm talking about making my clan members look unique and I can identify them from a distance. And that's what the craftable clothing will do. And that will blow this game out of the sky. Okay, there are a few other things that they can tweak with a base building. I'm not going to show you the base building. When you run into a full server, you'll see a lot of bases that are standing on top of pillars. They can't float anymore, but there are still people that's abusing the fact that you can let them sit in the air on top of a lot of columns. So I'll leave that for a tutorial video showing you guys how to make a beautiful base. But yes guys, full stop. If you don't have this game, buy it. Come join me. I'm on Johannesburg 1 and I'm helping the new players there to get the server full. And if you're on your own, on your own server, then yes, help the new players, guys. If you feel your server is too empty, just help the new players, okay? Have fights with guys that are settled in. Don't keep on killing people that are just trying to experience the game. And if you do that, you know, make sure I don't find out about it, because I'll blow up your base constantly until it's not fun for you anymore. Have fun.